Hello and welcome to Stampin' on the Hill. I'm Deb Keyes. Let's talk about the new stamp cases just for a minute. I hope this won't be too long of a video, but they changed we had some DVD cases and the storage of them was a little bulky. I mean, if you have a lot of stamp sets, it took up quite a bit of space, not nearly as much as when we had the wooden blocks, but still. Um, the DVD cases took up quite a bit of space actually, and I would have mine. I don't know if you can see it in my background over here. They would stand up um, on, on the shelf like this. Well, kind of like this. They would stand up on the shelf, and then I could see, and they had a little thumbnail or whatever right here of kind of what was on the case. So now that we have the new cases, this is not an option, having the little thumbnail imprints. So let me show you kind of how I'm going to plan to store them. This may change because again, it's new. So you kind of go with what works for you at the time that you need it to. So let me show you down here. There we go. So I have, this is the Banner Sayings stamp set, and this one comes with a punch. So I don't have any dies that go with this. Actually, I don't have any new stamp sets that actually have dies with them. But the idea is that, so these are all 100%. They're not shrunk down at all. So this is the actual size of the images that are in here. So, but it's a little bit taller than normal and a little narrower than normal, or what we have had in the past. This will just give you an idea. But then thinness wise, this is how much space we're really saving. So anyway, that said, let's jump in and see. This is how I had seen this someplace online, and honestly, I don't remember where I got this idea to give credit, but it wasn't my idea. So I have to at least not take credit for the idea itself. So when you get your stamp set, this is kind of what it looks like. These have been used before because I had not started to do this until after I was using these. So you can tell they're a little discolored, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off, well, let's not take it off just yet. I'm going to flip this over so it's got, the flimsy piece of clear acetate on the top, and then there's a heavier piece of acetate on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tear and tape, and I'm going to place tear and tape over the back of the hard plastic. Okay. And let's go with that. And then we'll take this off. Maybe we'll take this off. And I'm going to stick this right inside the case, or inside the folder that it came in. So we're going to open this up this way. So my words are going to be on the front. I'm going to put this on the back, and I'm not going to put it too far down to the crease here because I do want it to be able to fold. So I'm going to just stick it about here. All right, put that down. And then what I'm going to do is tear off that film, and I'm going to bring in, you can use whatever color ink you want. This is Secret C. So I'm going to bring in Secret C and just ink them all up. You're going to be careful with this because this is a shiny material, and realistically you could probably use StazOn ink for this and it might work a little bit better, but I was afraid of being able to clean the stamps this way because now the whole thing is already stuck down. So I'm going to close this on here and give it just a gentle press. And when I open it back up, I should have all of my stamps on this side now, so I can see if anything's missing. So what I'm going to do, let me show you. Oh, see, I'm making a mess here with a little bit of the ink. If I dab instead of swipe, that's probably going to be better. It'll be fine. I'm not all that concerned with the inside of the folder. But so here's what happens. So once I take this off and I'm using this one, after I clean it, I can set it right back down on here where it belongs. And then if I close this back up onto it, then it goes right exactly back where it belongs. So you can always tell if you're missing a stamp and which ones you might be missing, in case, you know, when you're like me and your craft room is a disaster because you've got all of the stamps out because you weren't sure which ones you were going to use for what. Anyway, oops, this goes this way. And then again, as I said, if there were dies with this, you could put them in the same folder, okay? Although your dies would have a different folder that comes with they are individually shipped. So, but you could put them together and that way you would know that the dies that go with the stamp set are all there. I particularly prefer to have mine on the wall because sometimes I use different dies for different purposes and with different stamp sets. So I like to be able to see what all my options are. So I have mine posted on a wall. Maybe I'll do a different video about that at another time. But so then I have this basket and I just grabbed this from the dollar store. And this is what I'm using right now. I may change this out too because I feel like the basket, the stamp set envelopes get a little bit stuck in the holes. But for now, this is what I'm doing, and I'm putting them through here. And then I can lay this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. But then as I have them on my shelf, I'm flipping through this way. So I went from storing them like this on my shelf to storing them like this where I can flip through. And I have them organized where like all of my word sets or the majority of the stamps in a set are words. I have those segregated by themselves and in alphabetical order. And then I also have all the rest of my stamp sets then in alphabetical order. So let me jump back here a second. And so if you can tell back here, I have these set and I just have 3 baskets here. And those that are standing up over there are soon to be discontinued. So those right now are on the last chance list, or they may be on in the current mini catalog, but I kind of keep them segregated, not knowing how long they're going to last. I typically don't keep all of my stamp sets. Once they retire, I try to only use the current ones. So I guess that's it for now. Don't forget that I try to put everything on Facebook, but I know that you don't all get my Facebook, like my things that I put on Facebook. So the best way to keep up to date on everything is to get the newsletter. That way everything will be in one place and I make sure that you can make sure that you're actually getting the information that I'm posting out there. If you click on the contact us button at the top of my Facebook page, Stampin' on the Hill, you can sign up for the newsletter. Until next time, thanks for